This is my reflection for Saturday, May 23rd. And I'm not even exactly sure where some of my thoughts came from or why I even started thinking about it today, but it has to do with the coronavirus. And so I was thinking about superstition. Now, what is examples of superstition that we would all just agree with? Well, superstition would be something like somebody says, "Oh, I can read the palm of your hand," right? And because of the creases and the lines in your hand, I can tell that today you are going to win at pinochle. I don't know, so they're making some kind of a supernatural ability to see by the palm of your hand into something, right? Okay, so reading cards, or somebody who looks up at the stars in the sky or airplanes. Somebody who looks up at the stars in the sky and sees a pattern and says, well, because of this pattern, I know that something's going to happen here on Earth, something specific, right? Okay, that's superstition. Now, the reason it's superstition is because the stars are natural, right? There's nothing supernatural about the pattern of the stars or about the lines on your hand or what cards come up in a deck or something like that the person's reading. Those are all natural things. But then to associate a connection with something else in an unnatural way means that that's superstition. Only God can do something supernatural, right? Okay. Now, I think sometimes that we can even turn things like the coronavirus into something that's superstitious. Some people would come out and say that the coronavirus is God's punishment for something, right? Well, they would make that assumption because the coronavirus seems to be something bad, therefore God must be angry with us. People will say that with hurricanes, right? So why do hurricanes keep hitting New Orleans? Well, there must be something bad. There's something bad about New Orleans. I wonder if that is actually superstition, because they're taking something natural and assigning it a supernatural reason. Now, is it possible that God could use something like the coronavirus or something like a hurricane if he wanted to bring about some end? Yes, he could do that, absolutely. But the problem with superstition is when we do bad discernment. It's when it's only something natural. And we need good discernment to understand that. And when it is God, we need good discernment to understand what God is doing and why he's doing it. And if it's Satan, the same thing, to understand what he's doing and why he's doing it. Because if we know that, then we can respond well. If we don't, we can turn it into something superstitious. Okay? So, for example, there have been times that I have caught myself hoping that everything will go back to normal, right? And I think out of legitimate desire that people can work and everything can just kind of hum along and kids can go back to school, all those kinds of things. But then every once in a while I catch myself thinking, maybe God is allowing this to happen because he does not want it to go back to normal. Maybe the normal was not good in some ways. And so one of the thoughts I had about that was, are kids going to daycare? Now, there's nothing intrinsically evil about daycare. However, if kids go to daycare every single day, I'm talking about especially the little kids, the really little kids, right? If there's a lacking of attention from mom and dad, from brothers and sisters, from family, if there's a lacking of true love in a child's life, there are consequences to that. And I think we do see that in kids today. Increased depression, suicide, engaging in risky behavior, all those kinds of things. Maybe God doesn't want us to go back to that norm, that normal. Maybe there's something now today where mom and dad are at home, even working from home or at home, and there's more time with the kids. I've had some people telling me, that it's really transformed their families because they've had to learn how to be more present to each other and love each other in that mix, right? And so I'm just putting ideas out there saying, maybe there is something supernatural, but we need to use good discernment and saying, maybe this is not punishment. Maybe this is correction. Maybe it's saying, we were going down the wrong path and he's trying to save us. He's trying to heal us. It's just a thought on that. It's just a thought on that, okay? All right. The other thing is for us to be very careful about our prayers becoming superstitious in this sense. If I pray for this to end, if I pray and pray and pray and pray, say, Lord, I am praying for my will. But my will is a natural will if it's not connected to God's will. So you remember that time when Peter says to Jesus, nobody will harm you. And Jesus says back to Peter, get behind me, Satan. You're thinking as man does, not as God does. And so for us to be careful about our prayers, say, what am I praying for? An openness to whatever God is doing, an openness to being more charitable and loving and kind, etc., etc. All these things that we can do in the midst of what we're going through, rather than just saying, Jesus, take away our suffering. Jesus, take away this time of difficulty. Jesus, let us get back to normal because it's less stressful. And so just to be careful about what we're praying for, what we're turning to, what we believe, that we use good discernment, it's from God, and not just our own thoughts. All right. Monday, I am not able to record my reflection at noon, so it'll probably come sometime later in the day, this coming Monday. Okay? All right. God bless you. Para mi reflexión hoy, estoy pensando en una cosa, no sé por qué, pero estoy pensando en superstición. ¿Okay? ¿Cuál es superstición? Superstición es cuando una persona está mirando algo natural. Por ejemplo, la persona está mirando a su mano, ¿sí? Pero cuando esa persona está diciendo, porque estas líneas en su mano, yo puedo mirar el futuro de su vida y va a recibir un nuevo trabajo. No sé, right? Pero es porque algo de líneas en su mano. It's like, no, ahora en tarjetas, dice, por esas tarjetas, va a ocurrir en su vida. So, algo supernatural, porque algo natural. No. Solamente Dios puede hacer cosas supernaturales. No mi mano, no las estrellas en el cielo, el significado de ellos. No. Este es natural. Okay, so superstición. A veces es posible usar esto a cosas aquí. Por ejemplo, en Estados Unidos muchas veces huracanes, choque con una ciudad especial, Nueva Orleans, en Luisiana. So, a veces personas dicen, es porque el pecado de estas personas que causa muchos huracanes. Dicen, es algo natural, ¿sí? Y we need to be careful. Necesitamos ser cuidado cuando decimos es Dios, o Dios está castigando un grupo de personas. Porque si no es Dios, este es superstición. ¿Okay? Es solamente nuestras ideas, pero no es de Dios. So, cuídate con esto. ¿Ok? All right. Con el coronavirus, con el virus, a veces personas están diciendo, es castigo de Dios. ¿Por qué? Porque es algo mal. Dice, cuídate. Necesitamos discernir si es verdad o no es verdad. A veces es solamente algo natural. Necesitamos saber esto. Y cuando es Dios, necesitamos buen discernimiento si es Dios. Pero a veces también es Satanás. ¿Es Satanás? Ok. nuestros deseos. A veces pienso que el virus va a salir, ¿sí? Porque es mal, porque causa mucho estrés, porque muchas personas no tienen trabajo. Es una tentación para mí decir, oh, queremos regresar al pasado, regresamos cuando todo es normal. Pero ¿es ese el deseo de Dios? Porque muchas personas están rezando, Dios, ayúdanos a quitar el virus. Pero otro día yo estaba pensando así, pero un momento, ¿es posible Dios permite el virus? Porque Él no quiere el pasado, Él no quiere cuál es normal, Él quiere cambiar nuestras vidas, algo diferente. Por ejemplo, en ese momento muchos niños, especialmente los niños chiquitos, no están en, ¿cómo se dice en español? Cuando las papás necesitan ir a trabajar, y pone a sus niños en lugar por niños, daycare, cuidado de niños. Pero cuando niños están en estos lugares por muchas horas cada día, ¿es bueno? Niños necesitan mucho amor, necesitan la presencia de papá y mamá y sus hermanos, no pasando, viviendo mucho tiempo en otros lugares. En ese momento los niños no están allá, pero están en la familia, en la casa, con mamá y papá, porque mamá y papá no tienen trabajo, o el papá está trabajando en la casa. Y muchas personas están hablando conmigo, así, es bueno para mi familia, tenemos una conexión con los niños más fuerte. ¿Sí? Es posible, el nuevo normal es mejor, no sé, ¿sí? En este caso, cuando estamos rezando, sí, ¿cuál es el deseo de Dios? ¿Es castigo? Probablemente no. Pero Él quiere sanar los problemas en el mundo, sanar el virus más profundo, el virus espiritual en el mundo. Esta es una posibilidad, ¿sí? Ok, la otra cosa es, necesitamos, we need to be careful, necesitamos ser cuidado con nuestras oraciones. Si estoy rezando solamente por mi voluntad o por voluntad de Dios. Cuando estoy rezando por voluntad de Dios, puedo vivir con más caridad, más generosidad, más valor y todas cosas. Pero yo no estoy tratando control cosas en el mundo, pero vivir mejor como un santo o santa en este mundo. Ok, all right. Próximo lunes, no puedo recordar mi reflexión a las 12 mediodía, probablemente es más tarde en el día. Ok, all right. Adiós, and felices, how do you say, happy feast day of the Ascension, happy feast day of the Ascension. Felices día de Ascensión. All right. Adiós.